Ladies and gentlemen, I got to turn off my voice recognition. Give me a second. Stop listening. Sometimes I just go straight into talking without realizing I left things on. As I told all of you, I do this 7 days a week. Now, yesterday proved to be a little bit stressful because I had three individuals scheduling a consult. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a secretary, and no, I'm not looking for volunteers. I don't have a secretary. So, what I must require for the consults is that individuals who schedule a consult that they give me 24-hour notification. And that's not so that I'm not organized. It's so, and I gotta pause this if you guys don't mind. It's going to interfere with what we're doing. Um, the company that makes it is called IOBIT, and IOBIT. All you got to do is look for iTop Easy Desktop. iTop Easy Desktop is pretty good. I like the way it works. And it's free. Anyway, make your own determination and decision. Thank you, homie. You see him right there. He just eyeing me, and I don't want nobody eyeballing me. How dare you be eyeballing me like you can do that? Go to the next whoa. It didn't go to the next wallpaper. Wallpaper. Let's see. Let's try that one more again. It didn't go. So we're gonna have to go to personal because I don't like that picture. So let's go. We'll do that for now. Oh no, it didn't do it. Oh no, I gotta do this right here. Didn't do that either. Oh well, I got some glitches, y'all. I don't want glitches, but okay. We gonna launch. Oh, chat with it. Man, they have a chat with AI feature that it's a long story. But I do like it because of the different features. And let's see. It won't let me do another wallpaper, y'all. I guess because I'm doing all this other stuff on here. I guess I shouldn't have messed with it. So I guess I'm gonna have to live with the photo that's in front of me. Oh, let's make this smaller. It shouldn't be whole screen. It should be partial screen. There we go. We'll do that one for now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bright new sunny day. It's not sunny outside. Excuse me, clear my throat. As I said, yesterday was a very stressful day. It is 6:21. I'm surprised at that. Normally I'm up at 4 o'clock. I went to sleep at 6:30 last evening, almost 12 hours ago. I woke up at 5:38 this morning. That's almost 12 hours of sleep. Why? Because that's how exhausted I was yesterday. Now, mind you, it was only one day in the last 5 days I've only gotten 3 hours of sleep. Every other day I've been getting 7 hours of sleep. But I'm in front of this computer about 13 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen, trying to do one thing or another for other people, not for myself. Starting Monday, I start working on things for myself. I even have help doing that. Get my taxes done for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it reasonable, not trying to do like these other people who are trying to get billions of dollars. You know, Lord. Oh, that doesn't help you. You start off slow at first, people. You don't start off gigantic, humongous, because that shows greed. You don't want to be greedy. There's no place in our society for greed. Stay away from greed, y'all. Keep it simple. Now, look, when I do my consults are basic and plain. What do I mean by that? Well, understand what a consult is. It's where somebody says, hey, I have this problem, and I also have this situation. What you do is you try to give them, from your knowledge, from your expertise, from your understanding of whatever the situation is, the policies, procedures, the law, what you would do in that situation. And then they, based on your knowledge, expertise, understanding, and experience, they make a determination, i.e., consultation. Sometimes it may involve other nuances, but for the most part, that's a consult. And so I've had several people come to me, including one who came to me about a particular matter in which some agents were involved. Now, there's a way I would go at it. Man, hammer, man, I had and I would attitude, but this person is not me. Their attitude is not the same as mine. So I cannot advise them with my attitude because my attitude is mother, see what I'm saying? Their attitude can't be, oh, no, mother, they can't have that attitude in this situation because it's stressing them out. So now I must curtail my response to the individual to fit their circumstance and not to have them do as I would do, sort of placing the impetus of what I want on them, making them, putting them in a situation, in a position that would not be advantageous to them. Who would want to put someone in that type of position? I don't. And so, que sera, sera. Or casera, casera, Lisa, Lisa, coat jam. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I allow, not all the time, the individuals who I have consults with, because they feel that there's a camaraderie. They feel that every response they get to whatever they did, they deserve me responding back for them because they quote unquote paid for that. No, you don't pay for the follow ups. If you do something and somebody responds, that creates a new situation. So, what I try to do is anticipate that. And in the conversation, because it's 3 hours long, in that conversation, I'm explaining how to respond. And I'm explaining how to use the ChatGPT model to get a response for you so you don't have to come to me or anyone else. Some people have gotten that and have thanked me for telling them how to use ChatGPT, that it has worked wonderfully. And other people haven't gotten that, even though I explain it. So let me explain something to all of you. I don't use ChatGPT because, pay attention, because I don't know the answer to the question. I use ChatGPT for your benefit so that you can gain from the communication, so that you can understand how to incorporate and use the apparatus known as ChatGPT. It wants to play games, Sean. Now, I'm sorry, I ain't got no time for no games. It knows that I'm doing a excuse me. It knows that I'm doing a video. Sorry, there is a lot of humidity and we don't have a storm or anything, but there is a lot of humidity and the barometric pressure is changing. So I guess I am going to have to check the weather map. I don't watch the news for the weather anymore because those idiots, they couldn't get anything right if they only had a right hand and a right leg. Okay. And so I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going through that. Uh-oh. Let's look at the weather. Where my weather app? There it is. WeatherBug. I use WeatherBug. I'm not advertising for WeatherBug, but I've been using WeatherBug for 9 years. Oh no, look at that. 40% chance of rain. Now look, wait. How did I know that there was a lot of humidity if I'm not even outside? Because of the way you saw me clearing my throat. That happens when there's a lot of humidity. When I go from low humidity to high humidity, when the barometric pressure changes, which is why I felt the way I did last night, which is why I had to take a sleeping pill because I can feel the changes in the atmosphere. I didn't even pay attention. There was not supposed to be any weather. I checked the 7 day forecast, but I look now and it says 40% chance of rain. Lord have mercy. I got some, I got 2 bags of cement outside that I got to go and take care of. So I got to hurry up with this because the bags of cement I left in the open because there wasn't supposed to be any rain. Now there's going to be rain. Now I'm in trouble. You feel me? Lord, have mercy. There's nothing I can do about it because I have to go and take care of that. I have no choice. And I have a meeting starting at 7. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do this as best I can. As I said, when I use ChatGPT, I'm not using it to do research. You cannot use ChatGPT to do research. You can't use any of the AI models to do research, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean by that? You can't ask it questions of a serious nature. That's why they give you the warning that it gets things wrong. You have to ask it questions based on your already known knowledge, things that you already are aware of, things that you already know. Then you ask it questions. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you already know that there is no such thing as a statute being law in the United States, because statutes are not law. The only statutes that are considered laws are the statutes at large. Revised statutes are not law. Remember, they're revised. Well, who gave them permission to revise it? Congress doesn't write revised statutes. The Legislative Council revises the statute. Well, who gave them permission to revise it? So once you understand that, and most people don't understand it, then you can go from there. Promissory notes. Promissory notes are promissory notes only when you sign them. 10 years later, they're not promissory notes anymore if they've been endorsed, if they've been securitized, if they've been placed as mortgage-backed securities. They're not promissory notes anymore. They're now negotiable instruments. Well, negotiable instruments and promissory notes are not the same thing. So once you understand these things, now you can move forward with your questions and your inquiries of ChatGPT. Because now you can expound upon your understanding and your explanation and your response to anyone. That's why you use ChatGPT. You don't use ChatGPT to gain knowledge. Can you use ChatGPT for research? Yes, only if you know the direction you're headed in. If you're just going to be asking questions, then it's going to take you off in all kind of directions, and now you're going to have the wrong answer. But because it helped you get to that point, everything it gives you is now going to be wrong because it's going to be according to that foundation. Don't use ChatGPT that way. All right, and finally, I try to explain to people that I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, for some people, that doesn't mean anything, and I don't understand. For other people, that means a whole lot, and I do understand. And for some of you, eh, you could care less. Let me do something. If y'all don't mind, I was on Amazon looking for some hard drives because the soft drives don't work. Wake up, wake up. Exodus 3:14. Stop listening. Give me 1 second. We're going to move to the Bible Hub, and I promise you, I probably haven't been to any of these in over 2 years at the most. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. God said to Moses, I am who I am. I am. But that's not what he was saying. And everybody calls him the great I am. Because hold on now. Don't do that. I'm getting to a point. Let me get there first before you start raising your objections. Here's the problem with people reading the Bible. They try to interpret what it means. So do me a favor. Notice what the Bible always does. We're going to go to the next verse, number 15, because the Bible always explains itself. Always. Then God said to Moses, say to the Israelites, the Lord, whenever you see Lord in all capital letters, it stands for Jehovah. Yeah, you got to read the preface to the Bible. Preface, preface. You got to read the preface. The preface lets you know that they took his name out and replaced it with all capital letter Lord. So the I am that I am, he says in the very next verse, this is what you are to say to them. Why? Because Moses says, what am I to say to them, stupid Israelites? And so now he says, this is what you're to say to those stupid Israelites. Well, they were a backwards nation. They both admitted it. And the Israelites proved to be that. That's why you had to keep forgiving them, because they kept making the same stupid mistakes. The same as we do. You, me, and everybody else on this planet, we keep making the same stupid mistakes. So he takes into consideration of that. Because here it is right here. And Moses said, to God said to Moses, I am that I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. Because Moses asked, what shall I say to them when they ask who sent me? Now, hold on now. I told you when they take God's name and put in all capital letters, this is the Hebrew pronunciation of God's name, Yahweh. That's the Hebrew pronunciation. That's what it said originally. God's name was there. So I am that I am was never his name. It was descriptive. What does I am that I am mean? It means that whatever I say I am, I am. Remember some rapper used to say, I am what you say I am, and if I wasn't, why would I say I am? Why do you think he was saying that? Okay, I'm surprised he understood it, but he did. Well, the same here. The I am who I am was basically saying I am whoever I say I am. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say something is going to happen, it's going to happen. I keep my word. That's what it means. Go back and read it again. Notice this, pay attention. Let's we're going to replace Lord, all capital letters, with Jehovah, the English pronunciation. See, this is the Hebrew pronunciation. There's no Y. I mean, there's no J in Hebrew. Well, we don't speak Hebrew. We speak English. So we're going to use the Hebrew, nah, but the English, pronunciation. Lord have mercy. This is an English translation, so we're going to use the English translation. If it was Hebrew, then say it all in Hebrew. Don't just say one word in Hebrew. God's name is not a Hebrew name. It's not an English name. If he were to pronounce it, sorry, that's 6:35. Then there's another one that goes off at 7. If he was to pronounce his name in the language in which he speaks, the original language in which he speaks, not what humans speak, we would never understand it because we don't speak the language that he speaks. English is a created language. Lord, have mercy. All right. And God said to Moses, say to the Israelites, Jehovah, the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. Now, notice he says the God of Abraham. Abraham has been dead for some 400 years. Isaac has been dead for some 400 years. And Jacob has been dead for some 400 years. So he doesn't say, I was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He says, I am the God, as if they were still living. Then he says, this is my name. Well, Lord could not be his name. Lord is a title. So the name Jehovah, or in Hebrew, Yahweh. This is my name forever, not until the Messiah comes, not just for the Old Testament, but forever. The name you shall call me from generation to generation. Well, this is another generation in which you and I live, and many of you refuse to call him by his name, even though he told you that, because you stuck with verse number 14 and said, I'm not reading any further. I don't need to know nothing more. I'm going to make up my own mind and my own. No, well, many of you didn't actually say that, but you did so by your actions. He said, this is my name forever. Pay attention. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. This is the name that he says you will call him by. But people have refused to call him by that. Let me explain. My mother and father, when I was 3 years old, sat me down and taught me his name. No, you may not understand that. I'm 3 years old. They not only teach me his name, but they teach me how to write his name. Now, I want you to pay attention to that, the significance of that. They could have just said whatever they wanted to say and walked on. But I wasn't that type of kid. They understood me. My parents did. And they taught me how to write his name. Now, how many kids are writing names at the age of 3? Most of you don't start writing names and learning how to spell until you get in preschool. Huh? Say what? We're talking about roughly 1971. Roughly 1971, I'm learning how to spell because that was not the first time I learned how to write. As my mother said, I was different than my brothers and sisters. It was the concept. I asked questions and I needed demonstration. To this day, it's the same way. Now, look, that's the best I can do for most of you. This is my understanding. This is my life. I serve this God. I don't serve somebody because, oh, he's an imaginary God. He has proven time and time again to be my God. Even to this day, he has made certain promises to me. Okay. I was thinking, you heard the song Cherish the Love? Cherish the love we have. We should cherish the life we live. Remember? Cherish the love. Cool in the Gang. Cherish the life. Cherish the love. Okay. And taking a walk together through the open shore, hand in hand, you and I. But you remember the part where he says, if you should receive your calling before I awake, may I make it through the night. Your calling. There are a lot of people who talk about being chosen of the Lord. God, ladies and gentlemen, being chosen or being called, being anointed is not something you can go ahead and grab and hold and say, that's mine. That's not yours. The calling is his. He does the choosing. He does the calling. He does the electing. He does the pouring out of spirit. So all of these people who are going around shouting and screaming that, I feel sorry for you and shame on you for announcing it as if it makes you somebody. None of the apostles did it. Go back and look. None of them went around shouting that they were anointed or called or chosen. How dare you sit up there and make a mockery out of something so important? All right. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I did a 1 hour and some odd minute video yesterday talking about the whole 100-year period, the 1500s, that the United States has no recordings of, no records. Go and look. We have no records of what happened in this land the entire 1500 period. We only get that Columbus came here with a group of explorers and then they left. We don't even get any information on whether or not they left anybody behind. Talk about being left behind. We don't get any history of what happened with those people who may have been left behind and how they dealt with the natives of this land, because we know that there were others here in this land. We know the Spaniards were here. We don't have any history of the Spaniards during the whole 100-year period of the 1500s. Go and look. That's on purpose, people. Now, look, I got to go because I got to go out there with this cement. I have no choice. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this man speak about what he was thinking, because so many people did go to the end of that video and listen. Because I don't usually just talk like that and just talk and talk and talk about certain things, but they gathered and gained and had expressions. I didn't know that it would have that effect on people. I started not to put the video up because of where the GPT model was trying to send me in a different direction. So I started not to put it up, but I said, no, I'm going to keep this one. I want people to see exactly how it goes and how it came back together, how I brought the GPT back where it was supposed to be, because it kept trying to veer me off in a different direction. That's why I said you can't use the GPT to do research if you don't already know where you're headed, if you don't already know the answer to the question. You have to already uh, you have to already know pretty much what the truth is, even if you don't know it for sure, because you use it to confirm it. That's what you use the GPT models to confirm it, but you must know what it is first before you can use it to confirm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a storm coming in. Well, it's not a storm, but the barometric pressure has changed and it affects me, so I gotta go. Okay? Thank you very much for y'all's communication, and I was gonna see y'all later. Okay?